Добре. Сега ще направя отново споделяне на презентацията. I will now share the PowerPoint again. So my topic is subkingdom fishes, and I will go directly to a case. I will not have time to talk theoretically about the core of human being, but I do believe that we have a core because there is one axis around which the earth is surrounding. We have spinal cord, one central spinal cord. We have one sun on our galaxy Milky Way, around which all other planets revolve, go around, and there is another sun that send energy to this galactic sun. There are actually three suns, like we have spirit, soul, and body. The same way, there are three suns, and there is a central sun, which is one that sends heat and light and energy to all the other galaxies and universes. And this, you see, this idea of centralness is running not only within us as human beings, but in the universe at all, because we are micro-universe into the macro universe, as the quantum physics also proved. So I will go for the case. So this is case of a man with HDAD. I saw him for first time in March 10, 2025. I've published this case in short about 7 months ago in Facebook group Homeopathy is a Miracle, but in a very short way, so I will now tell a little bit more. And for this, the case unfolded for these 7 months now, and I would share with you more. So his main problem, as I said, is lack of concentration and involuntary movements of the extremities. This person is businessman, but the authorities banned his business. He has a grand, big business. But he interferes with the interests of big groups, and they banned his business. And he developed this AD after this situation. So he has been treated with homeopathy for 20 years now. And his other complaints was angry outbursts, obesity, lack of strength and energy, bad sleep, bursitis, headache, iodine levels of the thyroid gland slightly increased, blood sugar slightly increased, swelling of abdomen, joint pains. He has been prescribed Lachesis recently. The last remedy 20 years before has been Lycopodium, which helped him with obesity and other symptoms like fatty liver, bloated abdomen, narrowed blood pressure limits, constant diarrhea. So he has been 133 kilos. So he managed to fix these issues with homeopathy, but he was unable to pull himself together and concentrate and get energy. He has gone through family constellations, millions of spiritual seminars, psychologists, psychiatrists, meditation, supplements, etc. but he still can't get out of HDAD. He had some improvement, but this angry outbursts, lack of energy, and involuntary movements, or what the doctors called it hyperactivity, he can't get rid of it with any therapy or remedy. And he said, I look at the things on the computer, but it's as if I don't really see them. I've even written down tables, charts, but it feels like I didn't write them myself. And when I push myself to understand them, it exhausts me extremely. I don't have the physical strength to exercise. This is one of his biggest problems. He is very agile. He likes doing a lot of sports, but he can't. And this was the other major problem. And I will go through this case fast now, then we'll come back, you will understand why. With this case, I understood the subkingdom he belongs to, because the words like I think appeared. Mm, uh, he's he likes swimming and diving. The other word that was prominent, constantly repeated, was dissolving. And because of this brain blankness, because of this forgetfulness, this swimming attitude and fishes that came out spontaneously in the first interview, I understood he need a fish, and he is a strong person. He stands for his ground. He's after this problem, after this trauma, he experienced a big trauma. To lose his business, it has been complete bankrupt, and it disrupted his life at all. But he managed. He moved to another country, and he now works for the business of his wife. Uh, and he spoke with also with any animative speech. He described the processes, and many teams run in the case, so all those qualities are pointing animal kingdom. So I understood he is a fish, and what was most prominent in the first interview, especially in the end of the case, was this flying sensation, gestures, words. I ask patients for absurd words and sentences, and one of the absurdish sentences was a flying bird, flying people. I like paragliding, all those things. So the two major topics run in the case. The fish topics and the flying topics. So I gave him, my first prescription was manta ray. Remedy from manta ray group, and it was Mobilobirostris 1M. Another sensation that came up with the first consultation was sensation in the head. The sensation in the head was like blowing, like someone is blowing to me, which is also animal kingdom explanation of feature and sensation. This Mobilobirostris, they have big wings, and when they fly, they can blow the other fishes and creatures on the earth. So And this flying sensation matched the case. Also, this is a strong fish. We can refer it to the fifth, sixth row as level of capacity. And he went very well. He responded very well to Mobula birostris 1M. He took it twice for a month and a half. But in 1.5 months, all the symptoms reversed and repetition of remedy didn't help. And as Susan said, I like also to retake the cases. And I felt like if I give 10M, it's not going to improve his states. I felt like something is missing, that I have not understood something in the case, firstly, and second, that something is missing. We have still not reached that core, this center. And this is the follow-up in 1.5 months. He told me, I feel better, I lost weight, concentration and hyperactivity are better, but in 1.5 months or 2 months, he said angry outbursts came back along with lack of concentration and hyperactivity. But the biggest problem is that I can't meditate. Another very important feature of fishes is this living like in a dreamland and desire for meditate. They are spiritually oriented like the zodiac fish, you know. The same way like the zodiac fish is spiritually oriented and dreamy kind of person. The same way the fish patient can have these qualities, some of them, and many others. And I asked him, how do you feel during meditation? I disappear in 15 minutes. My head gets clearer and I see things I have to do because I'm strategic. It's very important. When I'm not concentrated, I have no control over things. I lose myself. But when I have clarity, I feel fit. Describe a bit more, how do you feel when you feel fit? At what level? At the level that is most important to you. When I've slept well, which doesn't happen often before, I felt calm. Describe the word calm. Close your eyes, take deep breath, and describe the sensation of calmness. And he said, oh, it's difficult for me because something feels like it's, and he started doing this gesture in front of the esophagus. And I realized that this is strange. Have you ever heard someone to explain calmness like that? Calmness is to sit, to sing, to disappear. But to say that calmness is like that, it was, it was absolutely strange and absurd. So what exactly, I asked? Some kind of inner energy that is moving, he said. And I didn't go deeper, so I went to another sphere of his life. What kind of environment do you feel best in? In the mountains and in the sea. I really love diving and swimming, and he dives deeper. Sorry, the other interesting thing during meditation was breathing. He said, my meditation usually boils down to breathing. You will understand why this is very important. I didn't know at that time as well, like you now. So no worry if you don't understand the case. You will understand in the end. I love to move. Let's say I completely open up. I almost dissolve inside it in the sea. I also really like Tibet because he has been in Tibet to do meditations and spiritual practices. He has been with Norbekov, with Joe Dispenza, with many spiritual top guides. So when you say and he said it's not that it's dangerous in Tibet, but maybe there you are alone with yourself, like in the sea. And because this is spontaneous denial, I asked him, when you say dangerous, what comes to your mind spontaneously? He said, a volcano. What does this volcano look like? And the most interesting thing was that he started making this gesture. The volcano is like this. Is it volcano? Is it volcano according to you? Is it that really volcano does? The volcano does this, explodes like this or like that. I have seen many volcanoes and I have never seen volcano like that. So this was the second major observed in the case. And then he said, I even swim with sharks and I'm not afraid of sharks. He's very daredevil, very bold, very clever, very intelligent, but absent-minded. And this is since childhood. His parents and relatives told him, you're very clever, but very absent-minded. So he is born with this. But this problem with the business actually activated something that already existed in him. Because this trauma existed his childhood, he said. And then I asked him, what emotion do you want to get rid of? First, anger. Describe the word anger. It feels, I will feel it in the heart. How would you feel this in your heart? Like a blow, like a crochet, like a tuk, bow, like this. So this shows up a fish or an animal that is aggressor. It's not a victim. And what is this fish that makes like that? It's a whale. So the whales are mammals, and the team of communication ran through the case as well, and he's very family oriented, which confirmed mammal remedy. And also the whales, they have huge lungs. This what you see, this fountain here on the top of their head, it's not actually water. This is moist vapor and wetness from the lungs that they explode, like, because they inhale with 80% capacity of their lungs, according to scientific researchers. They don't breathe like us with 20% of our lungs. And this looks like volcano, you know, exploding. And he responded very well to the remedy. I didn't see him for 6 months. And in 6 months, on December 10th, he told me, I'm better at all levels. I have good level of, for the first time, he got a good level of energy. He finally could make exercises and be disciplined with exercises. Lost more weight, feels calmer. I feel much better than with mobile stress, but distraction and involuntary movement are still there. What fears do you have? Count me 3 fears, not for you. Fear of lack of engagement. And what you are not afraid of, I have no fears, maybe of losing my freedom. And probably that's why I ended up in detention or in arrest. He has been very disobedient as a child. If I'm afraid of something, I go and do it. And I gave him, I couldn't catch up with a lot of patients at that time and had no much time to go deeper within the case, honestly. And I gave him 10M of this blue whale, Balenoptera musculus 10M. And he told me that he feels better, but I was not completely satisfied because of this innovation quality with him. I listened to the first interview again for 2 hours, and we will come back to this and I will share some major points I realized. I lose concentration when things became routine. I've been treating, sorry, what does lack of concentration look like? For example, I need to write an offer, but I procrastinate, even though it's extremely simple. I lose my sense of time. This is also fish quality. And something that can be done in 2 minutes can take me 3 days. I stopped communicating with people for no reason. I went until the last moment. Basically, I get lost. When I have worked all day long, I don't get tired. It's very strange, isn't it? Are you with me? It's very strange. If I just look blindly, I get very tired. But when I am engaged with many things, I'm happy and my energy boosts, my energy increased. I love change and challenges. I love being on the move. Calmness exhausts me. And I studied whales and I didn't found a whale that love changes that much. That is strategic. And I will let you know, I did a big research, but I will tell you in very short, will tell you the extract of what I realized for whales and other groups of cetaceans to which this fish I finally prescribed belong to. So the whales have a huge mouth. They just open up the mouth and all the plankton and fish enter in the mouth along with the water without need of any invention, if any strategies and change anything. The things go, I can say, to some degree easy and smooth. Just they are very big, 200 like a bus, even like more than one bus, one whale. They're huge. And they can be aggressive, but they don't need this kind of constant movement and they don't need to change things that much like him. And they're not that fast like him. you will understand where this fastness came from. As a child, I couldn't stay in kindergarten because I screamed. Once I broke a toy tractor because my plan for something was ruined. I did only sports. I didn't have a single notebook. I love mathematics very much. Then suddenly I stopped liking it. I was rebellious. I was placed in a juvenile correctional institution. I was arrested for vagrancy. I liked playing volleyball and football, but I liked volleyball more because, listen, this is very important, because of the speed, you can't get bored. I like that concentration because the action is constant. You detect every nuance, everything that happens around you. So from these sentences, I understood, I listened to the whole video, as I said once again, and I realized that I have to go deeper and found out another big fish predator that is very fast, strategic, and like constant change and changes and innovations. Describe, and then I continue. Describe the word concentration out of you. It's something majestic, peaceful, circulation. Concentration is circulation. This is also strange. Count my 3 sea animals: dolphin, whale, and shark. Tell me more about one of them. The dolphin is very entertaining and very clever. What dreams did you get? I don't have dreams, but I had an interesting experience in Tibet during meditation. Would you draw the sensation in meditation? And he drew circles. It's also very important. Not the major part, but conformational symptom for the remedy. And here these flying sensations came. Also, he experienced the pain in the head, like the pain comes in waves. It was also very, very interesting. So I did research and I saw that the orcas also spring the water from their head. I didn't know this. I knew this about the whales. It's not very well known in the literature that the orcas also sprout this water from their head. It's not that big like whales, but they are very skilled. They are smaller in size than whales, but they are called killer whales because of they're very witty, very clever. And he told me that for short period of time, he managed to master very complicated algorithms and technique issues and websites. You know, it's difficult to make websites for someone who is not professional to learn it for a short time. It takes a lot of a lot of mind strength. You need to be really very clever. Are you with me? Okay. So the center of the case was this red spewing magma accompanied with this gesture. And the other interesting thing was that when I came back to the first interview, it often happens. We just don't listen to what patient tell to us because we don't know. We can hear only what we know. But then when I did research and why I spent 2-3 days on searching different fishes and predators and groups, dolphins and whatever. And I coincidentally saw this orca with fountains spraying from its head. So, and when he described the anger, I realized that he describes the anger like that. The first time I didn't notice this gesture. You know, he speaks very fast. Many topics run through the case, which is another confirmation for animal kingdom. And till we write, sometimes for a second we can skip any gesture, and we might skip the central feature of the case. And this is what happens with me with this patient. But when I saw the video once again, I saw this, and this is similar to this, isn't it? The headache is like that. It's strange. And he said, everything is in my head. And actually, these nostrils on top of the head of the whales and orcas are modified nostrils. They don't breathe with gills like sharks. That's why I didn't prescribe shark. Though he is very ferocious, you see, stand for his ground, break the tracks. So this was the center of the case, and action, desire, and planning, strategic mapping, and smart and swift. And I did research, as I said, and I saw a video in which the scientists said that the orcas use the cunning tactics of working together to make waves to wash seals of floating ice, the throbbing headache he said, coming and going in waves. Other groups swim in circles around schools. That's why he experienced the dream as a circle. Schools of fish blowing bubbles while slapping their tails on the water to coral the fish to the surface where they can be annihilated in mass. But the most important thing, they have been seen to coordinate hunts between as many as 50 individuals and are constantly innovating new, often terrifying hunting methods. Hunting strategies like this have enhanced and entranced scientists for scientists for years because of their apparent military precision. How are orcas able to communicate and coordinate such complicated concepts? How do they come up with so many new ideas and implement them so efficiently? So we see how everything came into place when I understood it's orca, Ursinus orca. Then these gestures came clear. Actually the fountains that they sprout are not that big like in a whales, but they have it, and they also blow the sharks or the other fishes with their tails, which is not the only which is not prominent only for orcas, but for other fishes, but it exists. But learning fast new technologies is there. Group identity is there. So the orcas attack in groups. They are group mammal. Then they don't have the single identity. They have a group identity. That's why he said, I lose myself. When I am blank, when I lose concentration, I completely sink and lose myself, and I don't know who am I. And also boredom in routine tasks comes from the fact that orcas are used like dolphins for entertainment in group swimming pools. So they perform this kind of jumping and swimming in circles, all those things, which is not so prominent in whales as well. That's why he likes basketball more than football, because in basketball you jump. While in football you just go to the plain terrain and you can't jump. And these orcas, when they are constricted in this narrow swimming pools, social swimming pools, they feel restricted as he. And thus everything came together. The confluence of the case came, and the center emerged and sprout out from here. The other thing, also important, like conformational symptom, is that they are not born with full set of vocalization skills. They learn how to vocalize different sounds. They communicate through echolocation. And something else that impresses me a lot of this case was that he said, during meditation, I don't feel just connectedness, but I feel connection with everything all around me. Which is mammal team. Sorry, he said, I want to communicate not with just some creatures. I want to communicate with every creature on that world. And there was a lot of energy within this sentence and expression. And you know, the communication in key topic in mammals. So after orca or sinus orca, 1M, he said, I feel completely fine. He's still on treatment, but he said, I feel better than with whale. And I went through an action process, some meetings with business partners, with Leslie, but I managed to go through them, and I feel from 1 to 10, I feel 8. So I can put this remedy in 5th row, the row of innovation, or 5th series of problem solvers and crisis managers. I can put this remedy in 12th column where cadmium is and where zinc is, because, you know, zinc feels that he's attacked and he's alert and constantly alert, protecting himself from attacks. The structure is under constant attack. This is the sensation of 12th column. Also, I could say that it corresponds with the 10th column where palladium and platina are, because the orca is on the top of the food chain. This is the second fastest animal, and this is the third most intelligent and clever animal of this earth after human beings, creature. on this earth after human beings and dolphins, according to scientific researches. And he is really very clever. And he said, I saw this remedy and I missed to tell you that my favorite color combination is white and black. And he said, I feel this remedy really bring together everything for me. It illustrates me very well. So wait, Mita is here. So thank you very much. It was my presentation for today. And I just wanted to continue what Susan Son said, that with this case, I couldn't show you complete transformation, and I shortly will tell you extract of another case I had of a woman with false arthrosis with broken bones after car crash. And she went to many doctors. It was a case I took, I think, 5-6 years ago. And I worked with her for 6 months and I couldn't reach the remedy. But then we went through regression, and she told me that on the first floor of the house he saw herself. She sees a wooden table. Then when I moved her to the second floor, she said, I saw wooden staircase, then wooden chairs, and outside I saw a big tree. And I prescribed her Betula alba. And after Betula alba, she threw the crutches and her life completely changed because she had problems with her boyfriend. He neglected her and she felt inferior and small. After Betula alba, not only her physical life changed, but her entire life completely transformed. It took me 2 years to handle this case because she was not open to go deep into the subconscious that easy. She has never been meditating. She told me I've been twice to regression with no success. I said her, okay, let us try third time, and it worked. And I think that the most important thing for us as homeopaths is the trust. To trust in the process and to trust that in the right moment, the patient will open up and the beauty of the picture will emerge, and we will be able to really not change we are not the one who changed their life. Actually, this is the divine presence that does this through us. But we really need patience and not forcing the process, and uh, do trust in the power of homeopathy and see its treasures. Thank you very much. Uh,